Hello people, you're welcome to ProUp Masterclass. My name is Tola T.A. Alabi, and in today's class I want to talk about money management. And this is a topic that was inspired by two people in my mentoring club who at separate times recently asked me to advise them about their concerns with how they spend money. And they were both concerned about the fact that money comes in, but then money goes out. They don't even know what it's used for. They don't feel any satisfaction with the money they've earned. And they were quite concerned about their money management. And when people ask me questions like that at very close intervals, I kind of feel it might be a message I need to put out there for people to listen to in form of a podcast. And so I was kind of inspired to do this class on money management. And I think one of the first things that we need to establish when you are concerned about money management is to ask yourself what money management means to you as an individual. Very important to ask yourself what money management means to you. Because there are three categories or three definitions of money management in people's minds. So there are three categories of managers of money. And so I want you to listen and think of which one you are. But there are three main categories and three ways in which people define how to effectively manage money. I think the first category are people who define money management by how much they can keep back to themselves. So these are people that earn money or get money, and they define whether the money has been managed well by how much they are able to keep back to themselves at the end of the day. These people are called savers. They're called savers. They are happy when they're able to maybe earn 100,000 naira, and at the end of the day, they're able to spend 20 and keep back 80. They're able to keep back money to themselves. They're like, okay, how much of this money can I stop myself from spending? How much money can I save? Now, these people might not be saving towards any end. For them, the reward is saving. Just having money back, just that saving money back is security, that they can look back at their bank account and they have this much money left. These people are rainy day people. You understand? So they're like, oh, we save money back for the rainy day. I don't know when the rainy day will come. I don't know how much the rain will be, but then I need to keep money back for the rainy day. Now, this mentality of saving is very, very, very common here in Africa with Africans, with black people. It's very common. That's the truth. A lot of us are very rainy day. You understand? Rainy day, keep money away, keep money back. You understand? Keep money back. As much money as you can keep to yourself. Very important. You might not have what you want to do with it in mind, but you should be able to stop yourself from spending all the money you have. So you must be able to keep. And the more you can keep back, the more disciplined a person you are, and the better you are as money management. So here we judge effective money management by people who are able to keep money back. So those are savers. For them, effective money management is withholding from spending. So spending a lesser percentage than you earn. That's what makes them happy. That's what makes them feel effective as money managers. Now you have the second category of people. And these people are the people that feel effective money management is to be able to use money for the things you desire. Those things you truly desire. That's what's called effective money management, when you can use money for the things you desire. Using money for the things you really, really want. A lot of these people have this mentality of you only live once. You never know when you will die. So spend money in a way that you enjoy it. Now, these people are people I call the spenders. They believe if they earn money, They think, what are the things that I really want? I really wanted to eat this good food. Let me spend this money eating this good food. I never know what will happen tomorrow. I really wanted to buy this great gadget. I have the money to buy this great gadget. I don't know what can happen tomorrow. I could get fired tomorrow. This is an opportunity for me. I wanted to go on this cruise. Let's use the money and go on this cruise and just enjoy ourselves. Let's use money for things we really, really want, things we really desire. Let's use money to enjoy life. They are the spenders. You see, when I had the opportunity of living in Canada, and that's one thing that really shocked me when I got to Canada, the mentality of a lot of people there, a lot of white people there, how different it was from us here, where we were thinking of, okay, we have this money we need to really save. I dare to say a lot of people there, they're not really big on saving. They're like, okay, I just got this money. We're going for vacation. We're going to Florida. We're going on a cruise. We're going to Las Vegas. And they go and they spend every single thing. I'm talking about every single thing. And they come back zero in the account. And they're back to work again the next day with zero regrets. No regrets. They enjoy every single thing. Looking at those photos, watching those videos, they're like, that is money well spent. We enjoyed our time at this place where we went to, Disneyland. We went on a cruise, on a boat cruise. You understand? We spent it on Christmas Day for family, buying expensive presents and stuff like that. They don't mind spending everything because it was what they really enjoyed. They spent it on stuff they really enjoyed. They're the spenders. For them, that's effective money management. I don't know, sometimes I watch game shows on TV, a lot of them British game shows, American game shows, and you see people win a lot of money and they ask them, what are you going to use this money for? A lot of them say, okay, I'm going to go on a cruise. I'm going to go on a cruise to Spain. I'm going to go on a cruise to the Mediterranean. I'm going to go on a cruise to this. I'm going to go on holiday to this. I'm going to go to Disneyland. For them, that's effective money management, spending money on things that really makes you happy, because you never know. You only have one life. That's the second category of people. Now, there's a third category. And these are people who, when they earn money, they see money as a trust. Money is a trust. And so what they do is they have a spiritual affiliation to money. That this money has come to me by some means of spiritual favor that God has given to me. So the first thing when they earn money is, God, what would you have me use this money for? Why did you bring this money my way? Now, these people have a form of clarity and honesty with themselves that, look, there are people out there more deserving of this thing than I am. So even when they are doing business, there are people, there are better people than me. There are better fashion designers, better business people with better products. Why did these people patronize me? Why am I the one that was privileged to be rewarded with this money? They see money as a stewardship, as a favor. And so they ask, what does the master want me to do with this money? These people are the stewards. The stewards. The steward is always concerned about, how do I serve with money? How do I serve my master with money? So they're always master-minded. They're always about, what does my master want? So they think of, God, why did you give me this privilege? Amongst all these people, why did you favor me so much to give me? So no matter how small the money might be, they see it as a blessing from God, and then they ask, what do you intend for me to do with it? So some of them, they might feel, oh, God is leading me. And that's why sometimes some people just feel, oh, God is leading me to give all this thing as a seed offering. So God is leading me to give to this cause. God is leading me to share part of what I have to help this person who has always been coming to me for a need, to share it with them. God is leading me to meet this need in my life. I need this equipment. And God is leading me, oh, this is the money for this equipment. You understand? They go by the leading of the master. Now, we must know where we stand when it comes to money management. Now, the truth of the matter is, I've gone through all these phases. I've been a saver, I've been a spender, and now I'm going through this part where I'm learning to be a steward. And I remember when I started out, when I got out of school, I finished my university, and I started doing my business and started earning some money. I think the first thing was how to keep money back. Because number one, I just felt this thing took so long to come. I just need to keep it back. I just need to restrain myself from spending everything. So then I used to keep money, and then it was just about the security of how much I had in my bank account. So sometimes I don't go back to my bank. I go to my bank. Then we need have bank apps then. But I go to my bank and just ask, how much do I have? And just tell me, okay, and I leave the bank. And then I feel secure with how much I had. I felt a security for the rainy day. I'm like, okay, so if anything happens, at least I can afford. I never knew what I was expecting to happen. So I kept money as a security. Just seeing it available, just knowing it was available was meant to me that I was a good manager. And every time it depleted, I felt I was bad. I started to panic. And then I got to the point where after, getting married, started having kids, and I just thought, I got into this phase where I was just like, money is just for us to just enjoy ourselves. You never know what can happen. You get older, you kind of see your mates, some of them get sick, some of them pass away, and you're like, what's the use of life? You start questioning, what's life? What's life? You don't have any of these things, we are not going to take it away with us anyway, so we might as well just enjoy our lives. You never know what tomorrow will hold. So I got into that mentality of let's just enjoy ourselves. So got money was always to enjoy ourselves and just buy whatever we wanted and just think of what needs or wants could be met. It's the opportunity to change your wardrobe, the opportunity to change your clothes, to buy a good phone, to buy a nice Valentine's Day present for your wife and blow her mind, buy great presents for the kids. Those things are good, but then it became the center. What's money for? That's what it's for. It was to meet personal needs and to make sure you were happy. You understand? And then, coming to this stage right now where I now realize that money is a stewardship, is a form of favor. You understand? And that was taught to me by business. And I learned this from doing business for a long time too. Because there was just a time when I just wasn't having the clients like I wanted to anymore. And then I realized putting out my portfolio, putting out my best of my work, nobody was coming. And I realized, whoa, these people were not coming because of how good my work was. They were coming because I was favored. It was a favor. So, that kind of struck me when I didn't put out work for a while and someone just reached out to me and just said, I just thought about you. I just realized, oh, I didn't put that thought there. I didn't put out any work to put that thought there. It was God. So when I got paid, I realized this came from God. You understand? It wasn't by any effort of mine. So then I was like, what do I use this money for? How do I use this money? How would you have me use this money, God? How would you have me use it? And then I realized that money was a trust, was a stewardship. A stewardship. I also learned this by personal experiences in my life too, where I needed something. And somebody just out of the blues just sent me money. Just like, Mr. Tola, I just thought to send you this. I just thought to send you this. Something just told me to give you this. And I just realized, oh, that person was being a steward. Just gave me this and I needed it for something, an immediate need in my life at that point. So I realized, oh, there are people who are being ministered to use their money for me. That means there are people who I am being ministered to use my resources for too. So I need to tune into that. So I started to learn stewardship and begin to ask God, what would you have me use this money for? Open my eyes to the needs around me, the needs within me, and the needs before me. And I will tell you, I haven't gone through all these three phases. the one with the greatest satisfaction at the end of the day is stewardship. Not saving, not spending, but stewardship. Personally, that's been my personal experience. That's my personal experience. I get more satisfaction at the end of the day of being a good manager of money when I'm a good steward of money, when I'm doing what the master wants. So for me, I would say know where you fit in. But in the end, there is the best way. But know where you are at this time. But then you must know that there is a best way, which is stewardship. And I'll tell you why it's the best way. And I'll use a story in the Bible. There's a story in the Bible about Moses delivering the Israelites from Egypt, where they were slaves for hundreds of years. And Moses came to deliver them. And the night before they left, God gave the Israelites an instruction to go to their Egyptian masters and request valuable things from them. And they went to the Egyptian masters and they started to ask them for valuable things. And said the Egyptian masters went and they gave them all their gold, their silver, their purple clothes and stuff like that. Very important things the Egyptians gave to them. And it says, the Bible puts it this way, it said that night the Israelites plundered the Egyptians. What that means is that the Egyptians gave them every single thing to the point where the Egyptians became poor. That what the plunder means. They plundered them. So overnight, the Egyptians went from being slaves, poor slaves, to being incredibly rich, free people. Now, that sounded so good, and I've had a lot of people preach messages on how you can plunder your enemies, you understand, your oppressors. It sounds good, but that was not the end. You see, the Israelites were now rich, had a lot of money, had their freedom. But then they found themselves in the desert. And in the desert, God told their leader, Moses, I want you to build me an ark and some other things. And he told Moses, request of the people their gold, their silver, all these their valuable things. They are the things I will use in building this ark. And Moses asked them, and God told Moses, ask of the people to give from their heart freely. That means it was not by force. It was a request from God. And he said, people gave. They gave their gold, gave their silver and stuff like that. And that kind of struck me. That the reason they were able to plunder was not to become rich. The reason, or to become rich for themselves. But the reason they were able to plunder the Egyptians was to become rich towards the project of God they were going to have to engage in the future. Was to become rich towards God. Because God had a plan for those riches. So they gave their gold, their silver, their purple robes, all those very valuable things. And they gave everything, and God used every single thing in the building of the ark and the uniforms for the priests and everything that he was going to use. Now, what happened later on? After they had built the ark, God called Moses to come for the 10 commandments. Now, Moses went up to the mountain for 10 commandments and didn't come down for days. And when they didn't come down for days, the people became restless. And they were like, oh, this our leader is gone. Maybe he's dead. Maybe we won't come back again. Maybe we are stranded. And they asked Aaron, Moses' brother, to build them a god. And Aaron asked them for their gold and their precious stuff, for their gold. And the Bible says they took the gold out of their nose, from their ears of their daughters and their sons, which means they still had some left over. Which means there were people that didn't give. They didn't give. And they built a golden calf, an idol, to replace God. And it says that in the end, everyone that worshipped that golden calf died. Now, what does this mean? It means that when we don't use our resources for stewardship as the time when the master requests it, we would use it for idolatry. We would use it to build a golden calf, an idol. That idol can be you, can be your investment plan, can be your investment app, can be, for the savers, that's what I mean, can be your bank. That idol can be, for the spenders, your phone, your gadgets, your clothes, the food you go and eat. Those things become your idol. And in the end, your idol always brings you disappointment and sorrow. You see, the best way to manage money is to be a steward. At the end of the day, money is about stewardship. We must come to the realization that every time God grants us favor, either through the gift of money or through the earning of money, He has a request for us. And a wise person should always ask the master, what would you have me do? At the end of the day, it's not about what you have left. It's not about earning 100K and having 80K left. It's not about having 100K and spending 80K and having 10K left and being disappointed that you spent the money. It's what did you spend the money on? What did you spend it on? Did you spend it on what the master wants? Are you in connection with the master to know what he wants? Because God always has a need. There's always something that strikes me. You know how there is a Yoruba proverb that says, he who has a head doesn't have a cap, and he who has a cap doesn't have head. And I see it a lot. I see a lot of people with good business ideas, good initiatives, no money. And I see people with a lot of money, no ideas, no initiative. And then life seems unfair to the person that has ideas, no money, and just look at, this looks unfair. How's life? Life is not unfair. The only problem is that someone is not using their money for stewardship. Someone is not using the money for stewardship. Every time there's a gap between a good initiative, something that needs to be done, every time there's a gap between someone that has a health problem, you see, we watch it all the time. This person has a liver problem, needs to be flown to this and stuff, and needs 1 million naira. And then here 2 weeks later, the guy died from his liver problem. No, it's not about how bad the society is. It's how bad the stewardship with money is, because you're still here in the same vein that somebody goes to a club and spends 20 million naira in one night. It's because we don't have a sense of stewardship. We have a sense of hoarding, saving, and we have a sense of hedonism, spending. And God wants us to move higher in life. So I hope someone can listen to this and get some benefit from this. That your money is a trust. Every time, no matter how small it is a trust. We must ask the master what he desires for us to use it for.